then they stopped going. And so I always remember that one day I was really worried. I said, now what do I do? Do I follow them and stay home on Sunday or don't? And I decided no. That's when I remember I decided I was not even 12, I was probably 11 and a half. And I decided to stay close to the church. Even sometimes I would walk because we lived 5 kilometers away.
Oh, you walked 5 kilometers to
Yeah,
church?
but not all the time.
Oh.
I had a train pass.
Oh, okay.
But if it wasn't time for the train, or if it was good weather, it was not. And I wonder, as I was walking, I wonder how long since the church will be established there. Then when I was 14, I was looking around and other people getting married, and then my sisters got married. And I said, no, I want to be married in the church, so I won't do like my sisters did. And I want a temple marriage. And the closest temple was in Salt Lake. 600 miles away or something like that.
Thousands of miles away, yeah.
Whatever.
Like 2,000 miles away,
Whatever.
yeah.
And my parents had no money, and so by a series of miracles, I came to Salt Lake, to get married. I mean, just so many little things that I didn't think of when I was doing them. For example, I was supposed to leave in December or January of 1939, and then if I had left then, I never would have met there. But the lady that I was going to work with was working in sick, and so they had not done anything. They had already offered me the ticket and everything, but I had to stay another year. That's okay. To meet him, because he was only there a very short time and had to leave because of the war. They sent out missionaries home. And then another thing, even more striking, is that I was supposed to go to Italy, to Torino, not Torino, another city, because the Germans were in the ocean, and so they had to leave they couldn't leave from France or Germany. And so I told my mother that I wanted to leave a few days early. I know I remembered I was to leave, the boat was supposed to leave the 26th of February.
How old were you?
I was,
18?
no, I was 21,
Oh, okay.
22, And I went a few days, I told my mother, okay, the boat leaves at 26th, I want to leave a little bit early. I leave on the 21st. And so I had a few days to see the city. I had never been there. And I did. She never complained. She understood why I wanted to leave. And so I left on the 21st in the morning, early in the morning. So I got there about midday. And I went to the boat to take my trunks, because in those days everybody took big trunks to everything.
Oh, sure.
Everything they owned.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
remember seeing pictures.
So I went there and I got there and I thought, well, I better take my trunks to the boat so I don't have to do that later. And I went and I got my trunks in, registered and everything. And the person I was talking to said, "Now, where are you staying tonight?" And I said, well, can I come back on the boat and sleep and visit the city tomorrow? And he said, well, you better come back on the boat. We are leaving tonight. They would have.
You almost missed it, yeah.
They would have left. They did leave that night. In the middle of the night, at dinner that night, the steward, they said, tomorrow morning everybody will be sick. I can't, because we're getting into the ocean tomorrow. And we were on the...
Seasick.
Yeah. Seasick. And so anyway, if I had not stayed on the boat, I would have missed the boat. How could I get another boat and a visa for a different time? Because I was coming to work for the son of the Swiss ambassador in Geneva. And so he arranged everything. Even when I got to New York, they wouldn't let me off the boat. I mean, they let me off the boat, but sent me to Ellis Island. And the man that was there to pick me up said, okay, I'll be back tonight. But he didn't come back tonight. I did stay on Ellis Island for one night.
For one night?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
wow.
one night.
What did they have? They had like just big
It's just
bunks?
a big room.
Just big rooms with
Well,
bunks
they
or
had,
beds or
no,
something?
they had one big room, really big, you know, where everybody could stay there during the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
just they sat
During
around
the day.
all day during
And
the
they,
day.
yeah, they sat around, you know.
Yeah.
And then at night, I was there only one night, so they were just, they would assign you to one room
Okay.
with 2 or 3 others. I don't
Right,
remember
bunks
that
and stuff.
detail. I remember going to the room, but not.
Yeah.
And the next day, the man came in. So,
Mm.
you know, it's just amazing.
How did
know.
you get from New York to Salt Lake?
I
Train?
did stay in New York because my job was in Boston.
Oh.
So I took a train to Boston. And yeah, a train. Well, they picked me up and put me in the Swiss room. I mean, they had a Swiss house.
Mm.
And then the next day I took a train to Boston.
Okay.
And in Boston, I was working for the family of the Swiss ambassador because they wanted the children to learn French. They already knew French. They had 2 girls and a boy, a male boy. But the 2 big ones already knew French a little bit, but they wanted more.
Yeah.
And so,
What's wrong, silly?
so anyway, the thing that I was impressed when I was looking from the train, because the train goes in the backyard of the houses, you know, and because the train track doesn't go in the middle of the street, it goes in,
The
yeah, in
houses
the back.
and the
And all the
alleyways,
backyards had 2 or 3 cars. And I was so surprised because in Switzerland we didn't have 2 or 3 cars. But anyway, but the family was very nice. We were only, which was really nice, we were only about like a 10 minutes walk from the mission home. And they had missionaries there who spoke German, so I had English. I couldn't speak English. So they gave me English lesson in German.
Yeah.
Because I could,
English lessons in German.
yeah, I could speak German.
Yeah, yeah.
He wants another chocolate.
What do you want, baby?
Why don't you go and pass the American one? Do you want to do it? You pass the American one this time. So
Go see Rachel. She'll help
anyway,
you.
that's,
Please, go see Rachel. She'll help you.
I thought I had never really told that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm just trying, it just came to, some of this came to me. I didn't think about being a miracle that I took the train. I know that I went early in Italy, that I would have missed the boat.
Right.
I just took it naturally
Mm-hmm.
because I had faith since grew up with it.
Right.
I will not go out. When I was 14, I decided I won't even go out more than just one time with any boy that's not a member. And that was great. It was worth it. So I'd say to the kid, whatever you do,
Hey, kids,
whatever
listen.
you do, stay
Rachel.
in the church. Live all the commandments. And I mean all, not just 1 or 2. Because it's important. I mean, you watch enough people around now. So that's what I want, you know. And I
We're
mean,
working on it. We're trying.
I mean,
Every day.
that's not a
Mm-hmm.
a guarantee. I mean,
Nope.
but even that, we have to have faith that is what the Lord wants us to do. And that's so much better than if you don't have that. You know, whatever happens, even something not so good happens, well, that's what the Lord wants me to do. That's my path. And you're happier that way. So,
Right.
yeah. So anyway, I don't want to keep you if you want to go. You have a ways to go and eat. Are you still writing goals?
Yeah, we have to.
Go
Yeah.
do goals.
We brought them. We're
Now
gonna write
you
them,
must
yeah.
have a pile of them.
Yes, we do. You're getting thicker. Yeah.
This was the first year that I actually pulled them out like in June, so that we could review
Yeah,
what their goals were halfway through the year instead of waiting until the end of the next year.
that's a good idea.
For them
But a
to
lot of
look
people
at.
don't even write goals down. So.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Say that again.
A lot of people don't even do goals. Don't even write their goals down.
That's
So that's good.
that's true.
Even just doing that is unusual. That's true.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking